Happening this hour in Fulton County, Georgia, is a hearing of former Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and his second attempt to get his RICO case moved to federal court. Let's bring it right now. NBC News correspondent Blayne Alexander live in front of the courthouse. Blayne, what's the latest there?
Well, Joe, right now we are listening to the arguments. We're listening to it via a live stream. And what's happening inside this building behind me is each side has basically 15 minutes to argue before a panel of judges. Right now we are hearing from George Terwilliger, who is the attorney for Mark Meadows here in Georgia. He's giving his rebuttal, but basically he's making the case that everything that Mark Meadows did as the White House Chief of Staff falls under his duties. Therefore, they fall under his federal duties and his actions should be removed to federal court. You know, what we've heard during this hearing has been interesting. It's been hearkening back in many occasions to Meadows' testimony that he gave several months ago before the federal judge here in Georgia, basically saying he was on the stand for about 3 hours or so, saying that everything he did fell under the pale of his duties as White House Chief of Staff. It's worth reminding our viewers what he's being charged with here in Fulton County, and they stem from that now infamous phone call that he's helped set up between the then President Donald Trump and Secretary of State here in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, in which Trump asked the Secretary of State to find enough votes to overturn his election victory in Georgia. He says that and anything else he did fell under his duties as Chief of Staff, but the state here, the Fulton County DA's office is arguing that's not the case, that there are certainly, a number of things as established by the district judge who said that this can't be removed that make it clear that this did not fall under the pale of his duties as Chief of Staff. It's interesting when we look at what the judge ruled in the first place. He said that his actions there actually had more to do with campaign issues. He was acting more on behalf of the Trump campaign than he was as the president, as his Chief of Staff. So what we've heard for the past 30 minutes or so, Joe, is this kind of back and forth argument. The judge at many times challenging both Meadows' team and the DA's team on their arguments here. I think it's worth reminding us all, though, why he is trying to remove to federal court. If he does, he can claim federal immunity. And even if the cases aren't thrown out, even if that argument isn't successful, Joe, what he can do is he will be subject to a more friendly jury pool if this is tried in federal court, drawing from citizens not just of Fulton County, which is a blue county, but the entire Northern District of Georgia, which includes red counties as well.
All right. NBC's Blayne Alexander, as always, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
Got it.